portrayed Naomi Anderson in many public events. Welcome, Carnessa. So here with music by Dan Shaw, Michigan City native, and Carnessa Arms, who's remembering Naomi.
Origins. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Her name was Naomi Anderson. She was born in this city in 1843. Just 6 years after this city was founded, her mother gave her the fierce desire to learn. And even though the city was too proud to admit black children into the schools, Naomi's fierce spirit and gifts as a writer opened those closed doors, at least for her. The only formal education she received was here, long ago, along these sandy, shallow shores. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Civil war, testing whether this nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated shall long endure. At 20, Naomi married William Talbert, a barber from Valparaiso. She returned to Michigan City 2 months later to bury her only sister. And the Michigan City Trinity Episcopal Church records reveal it was here that she buried her first child. And it was here that she learned that her brother died while serving in the Union Army in Florida. We come with gratitude to all who lent a hand to save our starry banner floating high from floating o'er a slave. We're free to vote as you may vote all over this mighty land, and will serve both state and country as justice doth demand. We pledge ourselves, if ever called in wars, our soldiers' hands shall ever uphold our honor, stripes, and stars. shall long endure. Triumph. Justice delayed is justice denied. When Naomi discovered that the white woman with whom she had organized an orphanage in Columbus, Ohio, would not allow children of color, Naomi gathered a council of women of color and organized a home for God's little black lambs, as she fondly called them. Naomi Anderson confronted some of the most important human rights issues in the 19th century for women and for people of color, while fighting the dual oppression of being black and female. Her writings were published in newspapers throughout the country. She spoke to tens of thousands of people during her lifetime, speaking at the first Women's Rights Convention held in Chicago in 1869. Naomi stated, "Miss Anthony and Mrs. Stanton, with their high moral and intellectual power, have shaken the states of New England, and the shock is felt here today. And soon the whole world will be awakened to the sense of the value and importance of our cause. Woman has a power within herself, and the God who commanded Moses to lead Israel out of Egypt, who empowered Samson to slay his enemies, who inspired Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, that God, our God, is with and for us, and will hear the call of woman, and our rights will be granted, and we shall be permitted to vote." We pledge ourselves, achieving. I am an American. Naomi published her poems, speeches, editorials, and songs throughout the land. She went on to found a union of seamstresses to aid Susan B. Anthony in the campaign for women's rights to vote and to stand up for the rights of African Americans. At times, Naomi outdrew Miss Anthony at rallies across the country. She was a force to be reckoned with. She was a bright, young black woman from Michigan City who indeed helped move this country forward. We are a composition of humanity, but there flows in us combinations of part European, part Native, part African, and part Asian. I am an American because here I was born. I am true because I love the dear old flag, and because I am on the right side of the question, for I am an American. Naomi Anderson, a hometown hero.